Hello everyone. Good afternoon. Namaste. This is Padma from Hyderabad, India. Hearty welcome to Padma's Parikrama from ordinary to extraordinary, which introduces numerous famous personalities on the prestigious platform The Fertile Brains. Firstly, I would like to thank Mr. Prasanna Kumar, who is the founder of the Fertile Brains, Rupali Sarkar Gaur ma'am, who has initiated this program, and all the members of the team for encouraging us and assisting us to have these events regularly. The Fertile Brains is a place where poets meet to share their minds and hearts on every Sunday and runs important segments which focus on our legendary Indian poets and conducts discussions which promote new authors. In addition to these, the Fertile Brains is unique in its efforts to bring into focus our well-known Indian poets through its program Poets Meet Poets. Through my book, it launches new and old authors through vibrant discussions by erudite scholars. Twinkling Minds is another program on the fertile brains which helps children write and appreciate literature. All the creative people on this forum discuss various worldly topics that enrich every listener. The ultimate aim of the fertile brains is Vasudeva Kutumbakam, which means the world is one family. Let me introduce myself. I have been in the field of education for a long period of time, holding various positions like the principal, the academic coordinator, head of the Department of English, and a teacher of English. When I was in various schools, I trained many teachers. I worked in various international schools in India and Maldives for a few years. I've started my literary journey long ago. I have been writing stories, articles, poetry in different languages. I write in English and Telugu, which is my mother tongue. My writings have been published in various anthologies, magazines, and even e-journals. I was also the editor of Your Space, Muse India, for a few years. That's what about me. Yeah, the roots of education are bitter, but the fruit is very sweet. The educated person can learn many things and change herself or himself. And when I talk about the research, it is a formalized curiosity which is poking and interfering with a purpose in order to find the facts. Writing is nothing but expressing our inner thoughts. So today I have a versatile personality, Miss Sowmya Ayyar, who is a researcher, educator, a singer, and also she achieved success in various fields. I'm very much delighted and honored to welcome you, dear Sowmya, to this admired platform, The Fertile Brains, which gives numerous opportunities to the poets, authors, and many creative souls. So happy to have you as my special guest today, Sowmya.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Padma, ma'am.
Yeah, please call me Padma.
Okay.
Yeah. So before knowing her life story and achievements, let me introduce her by reading her bio. Sowmya Ayyar is a poet, writer, musician, and scholar whose work bridges devotion, diplomacy, and the lived experiences of women in India and across the diaspora. Born and raised in the United States and now based in India, she brings a deeply transnational perspective to her creative and academic practice. Her poetry, including her forthcoming collection, My India, draws on Bhakti traditions, feminine wisdom, and everyday encounters with the sacred, weaving together themes of love, longing, and spiritual inquiry. A senior research scholar at Banaras Hindu University, Sowmya studies Yogini Sanghas and their epistemological contributions to diplomacy. She is also the founder of the Praful Urja Charitable Foundation and president of the Women's Yoga Council of India, where she mentors and supports yoga practitioners and community leaders. Sowmya has turned into a space of reflection and connection. Wow, what a wonderful journey you had, and still you are having, Sowmya.
Thank you
But
very much.
yeah, and you are doing a great job in various areas. I'm so happy to have you today, Sowmya.
Thank you.
Uh,
I'm really happy to be here and
yeah.
it's a really great opportunity because I've been in touch with Prasanna ji for about, yeah, I think about 1 year now, but
Uh,
I wasn't able to connect deeper until today. So I'm really grateful for this and just
yeah,
to be
yeah.
able
He's
to,
the one who suggested your name. He told me that we should have some conversation. Yeah,
thank
so happy to have you here, Soumya. And dear viewers, I want to tell you that her bio is a very brief, but when I talk about her life journey, she achieved so much in various areas. She's a wonderful educator, researcher, and also a writer. Let us know more about her uh, through my conversation. Yeah, Soumya, shall we begin the event with your melodious song?
Sure, sure. So this is a piece that yeah, before I begin the song, I will give a little background.
Yeah.
Uh, I studied Carnatic music for much of my childhood and into my teenage and 20s, and then I began teaching in the
Mm,
US.
mm,
I in the during this last 5 6 years, especially during COVID, I noticed that most of what we sing is and perform is composed by male composers, and I
mm.
thought it's very important that
Okay.
women's voices and women's work also comes out. So
Yeah.
I one of the greatest poets in my mind is Andal, and
Mm,
everybody is well versed with across India
yeah.
should be fairly well versed with her uh,
Mm,
work. But she was if not, and so that really inspired me to also think, okay, uh, I should compose music from my own thought and my
perspective.
own experience.
Yeah.
And in my mother's house in California, there is lives an Akilandeshwari Vigraham.
Mm, mm,
Uh,
mm, mm,
she's surprisingly in California. She is
mm.
a full gold in my mother's house, about
Sure.
2.5 feet tall,
Mm.
and she was given to my mother by a saint,
Okay. Okay.
and it came across, and my mother brought it across the ocean and kept it there. And the saint always said that, oh, when I build a place, then in the US, then I'll move it there. And the saint
Mm.
has taken samadhi, and it has not moved, even though there is a center.
Okay.
So
Let's go with the song.
it's there. So the song is about Akilandeshwari in my mom's house.
Okay. Okay.
अखिलाण्डेश्वरी रक्ष माम्। अखिलाण्डेश्वरी रक्ष माम्। अखिलाण्डेश्वरी रक्ष माम्। अखिलाण्डेश्वरि रक्षम्। कालिफोर्नियाविन् अम्बन्दे காலிபோர்னியாவின் அம்மந்தே அகிலாண்டேஸ்வரி ரக்ஷமாம் ராஜராஜேஸ்வரி மந்திரம் சலம் लाण्डेश्वरी रक्ष मां राजराजेश्वरी मन्दिरं स्थलम् अखिलाण्डेश्वरी रक्षम्
Yeah, nice.
நீயே அருள் புரிதேவியே நீயே அருள் புரிதேவியே நீயே அருள் புரிதேவியே अन्नपूर्णेश्वरी अखिलांडेश्वरी राजराजेश्वरी अंबिके अन्नपूर्णेश्वरी अखिलांडेश्वरी राजराजेश्वरी अंबिके शक्ति தர்மமின் தேவியின் மாதிரி வேண்டியத்தில் நீ கொடுத்தாய் கஷ்டமும் கர்மமும் மாயமும் விழித்திட நீ என்னை வேட்டாய் அகிலாண்டேஸ்வரி ரக்ஷம் ராஜராஜேஸ்வரி மந்திரம் ஸ்தலம் அகிலாண்டேஸ்வரி ரக்ஷ மாம் रक्ष माम्
Yeah, thank you, Sowmya.
Thank
You're blessed with a melodious voice and nice to listen to the song. And beginning the program with a devotional song itself is something really great, I would say.
thank
Yeah. Yeah. How was your childhood and where did you spend your childhood, Sowmya?
Yeah, so I grew up in California primarily, and I grew up with my grandparents, my maternal grandparents, and
Mm,
of course, my parents and siblings. But and then also my aunt and uncle. And um, interestingly, though, I grew up at a time in California in the 80s, 90s, 2000s. There was not a very large Indian community at the time.
mm.
And I think after 2004 or 2005, then you looked at the space, the landscape had altered
Mm,
drastically. When I finished high school, there were 4 people in my class, in my batch, who were of Indian heritage, of Indian
mm,
background. When you
mhm.
go back to the same place, there will be 4 people who are not of Indian heritage.
Yeah, now many are there. Yeah. So, how was your college life? How were you as a student? Were you a dreamer or an ambitious person? How was your college life?
Oh,
Or,
that's interesting. So my college life, I think I would say, yes, there was dream. But also I was inquisitive. I
mm,
wanted to find my own self. I didn't
mm,
want to be, just because everybody else is doing something, I didn't want to uh,
okay,
follow that. I looked for something, I always looked for my own path, my own interests.
okay.
And yeah,
That's nice. That's nice. That's very nice to know. And who has been your influential person in your life? Who has been guiding you?
oh, definitely my grandmother.
Oh, great.
Um, although I am not sure I live up to what I want to be, but for me, she was an epitome of love,
Wow.
and it just,
Mm,
yeah, she was, and just the way she lived without expectation
mm,
and with complete love for anybody who crossed
mm,
her path, and never any, you know, when she passed away, I want to say I don't think she ever had a fight with anybody.
Such a nice person.
Yeah, and accepting and loving no matter what,
Mm.
and caring, and yeah.
And one more thing, living with grandparents itself is a blessing, actually. You learn a lot of things from them, especially about tradition, this and that. Yeah. As an educator, how was your experience when you taught and guided many students?
So one of the things that in the recent years, especially during the COVID time, I was working for an organization helping guide students who
Uh-huh.
want to go from India, who want to go to
Yeah,
abroad.
live abroad. You trained them. Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
I would say one of the things that I kept wanting them to learn, and I still encourage everybody, is how to build relationships and networks.
Mm,
Because that's really the way you are able to succeed, is by knowing somebody else. When somebody
mm,
knows you, then they'll introduce you to the next person. So, and I wanted to encourage them as
mm,
all Indians to
mm,
support one another,
mm.
um,
Okay.
especially when they grow abroad. You know, you're going to the same state or the same country, you have at least one person that you'll know.
Okay. You help them to learn how to develop bonding with people.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, more
Yeah.
than even their academics, because
Yes.
that's going to come automatically. Of
Very
course, you
true.
have to go to your class and you have to study.
Mm,
Beyond that, how to be a citizen of the world and to support one another.
okay. See, as a student, you lived in US and you came back to India. Can you differentiate, how is education there and here? Is there any important differences? What did you notice important differences when we talk about education in US and in India?
Yeah. For example, when I said I was inquisitive and I want to, explore different ideas and find my own path. So I started out, because my mother is a doctor, so I started out also in my bachelor's degree. In my undergraduate degree, I started out in the sciences, wanting to study biology and thinking that, okay, I'll also become a doctor because that's what I knew. But I took a class in my second year,
Mm,
and it was in sociology, and I was shocked that the person who was teaching me was also of Indian descent.
mhm,
She was an Indian Catholic,
mm,
and so her name did not tell me that she was Indian per se.
mm,
So I got, oh, she's Indian. And then I thought, oh, Indians can do things that is not medicine and engineering. Okay, so I would say that that really is something different than you see in India and in a large part of the world.
mm,
What you get in the US is everybody first does an undergraduate degree. You might start in one subject, you'll finish in a different subject if you want. If you say
mm,
you can start in mechanical engineering and end up doing English literature.
mm.
And that's something that you don't see happening in India. People, once they
Okay.
do 10th standard, then they choose, okay, I'm going to do science, and then
Mm,
in science. And it's
mm,
very difficult for the for the person to switch out, and also for the family and the society and the college to say, okay, it's okay, you can switch
mm.
to something else. But
So the change doesn't happen easily in India, especially when you want
yeah.
to. Mm,
And I would say that's something, then I had so many opportunities. I took courses in religion. I took courses in philosophy
Mm,
and in marketing and
mm.
communications. So there were so many different
Yeah.
areas that guided.
Yeah, that is really wonderful, I would say, switching from one field to another and learning things, excelling in that particular area, something good.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that is really good. Okay. So, what changes do you think that students should have today to prepare themselves to be competitive?
Yeah, like I said, I think the knowing something to be competitive in the world, one of the things is instead of competition, I want to say to maybe, because I don't necessarily compete, not even with my own self. And I know that my own life is a journey, and it's going to go like this, up and
Yeah.
down. So it's okay.
We don't know when changes will take place.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I would say that again, one of the things that I wanted to impart to the students, especially the ones who are in, 11th, 12th, and
Mm,
undergraduate, even graduate studies, if they're doing, is to really know who you are.
mm,
Financial success is one thing,
mm.
it's not everything.
Yeah.
And it's not, yeah, you need some amount of money to be stable,
Mm,
able to afford, but what is it that you want to afford?
mm,
You want to jet set around the world? Does that make sense?
mm,
Is it environmentally appropriate? Is it truly
mm,
something that's going to build lasting peace and lasting security and lasting happiness?
mm.
Or,
Okay.
like I'm very happy in my village, and
Mm,
I kept trying to hone in on that for each of the students to really know themselves. Do you want to be in the US? Well, nowadays most people say no. Okay, well, where do you think you might want to be? And what are the opportunities that you're looking for
mm.
that's going to make you happy? If you know
Okay.
that, then you'll know
Yeah.
how to move.
Yeah, you motivated different types of students, right? Do
Yeah,
you have do you have any sweet memory that you had while counseling them or motivating them?
I
Would
think
you
one
like
of
to
my
share with us?
favorites, so in my opinion, one of my greatest successes was a young woman who had about 5 years of work experience. So she
Mm,
must have been around 26, 27.
mm,
And I could be right, plus or minus 1 or 2 years. But she was also from a small village, I think in Andhra Pradesh.
mm,
And when I said, well, now you have to prepare for your, the interview. Although one of the things that she said, and first have a nice dress, and she said, "Oh yes, I'll get one of my mother's silk saris." I said, "No, no, 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 no. They don't want to see that. They want to see you're going to an MBA program. They want to see, yeah, you can have some diversity."
mm,
When you're going to a top MBA program in the US, they want to see
mm,
that you look like a businesswoman.
mm,
But yes, take a dupatta or take a scarf that has Indian motifs on it,
mm,
wear that. But she couldn't even find, she said, "Oh, there's no shop in my place, and I can't find any white shirt
mm,
and or any jacket." And I said, "Oh goodness, okay." So I walked her through that whole process. When she went to in the next village, or and then she took, or the one small town nearby, she took her phone and she showed me which one. And I said, "Okay, this is okay, this is not okay." And I helped her select
mm,
everything, helped her write her essays, and guided her through what is the MBA program looking for in you.
mm,
This is a girl who I think she had like very low English writing
mm,
skills,
mm.
because she was from an engineering background.
Okay.
And I really helped her to figure out what it is that she wants to offer. Because
Mm,
they're not looking for what is it that you're going to learn from them. They
mm,
want to know what are you going to bring to
mm.
us
Yeah.
unique. So I said, You're living in this village. You talk of, even though, so I said during your interview, talk about how you went from village to village to look for to find a white shirt, because that's not something relevant in Andhra Pradesh, in the villages
Mm,
of Andhra Pradesh. That might be
mm,
okay in big cities.
mm, mm, mm.
If you look at small towns, you won't find anybody wearing white. It's
Yeah,
a color of death in
yeah.
in many parts of India.
Mm.
Nobody wants to wear white.
Yeah, yeah. And giving knowledge about practical life and at the same time trying to boosting her, that you boosted her and encouraged her and you helped her to find out what she really wants to do, right?
Yes, and she actually ended up getting a full scholarship,
Mm,
uh, not just to the university, but also to join a women's business
mm-hmm.
organization.
Okay.
And so she got to travel around the US for
Mm,
that fellowship. But
okay.
for her program, she landed in the program. Within
Mm,
1 month, she said, "Oh, she called me and she said, well, I'm going to Spain. Well, I'm now and then 2 weeks after that, well, I'm going to France. Okay, then 2 weeks after, well, now I'm going to Argentina, or I don't even remember where all
mm.
maybe some 10, 15 countries. A girl who had never left that,
India and
not even
going
India, never even left that region.
particular state
I think
and
Andhra Pradesh, from her village, she has gone, and from her town,
mm,
she did her undergrad, her graduation, and
mm,
a few times she's gone to Hyderabad to see,
mm.
to take exam or to do certain other, get the passport and things like
Yeah,
that.
this is something a wonderful transformation, right? Nice.
Yes,
You did a great job, Soumya. So nice to know your experience with that.
she's one of my favorite. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, very nice to know about her. And what are your responsibilities as an executive director of Praful Urja, Bangalore? What do you do there?
So Praful Urja Charitable Foundation, when I first came to India, I had just finished doing my master's degrees,
Mm,
and one was my thesis writing was on yoga and international peace, and yoga and trauma survivors.
mm,
So when I came to India, I thought, okay, well, what am I going to do? I thought I should start teaching yoga. I was anyway practicing. Uh,
mm,
doing asana
okay.
practice and
Mm,
pranayama practice, and then trying to
mm,
live a yogic lifestyle.
okay.
Um, I ran into a young boy and on the street, and he had a special needs and attention deficit hyperactivity. So I began teaching him, and then that grew into schools and teach more. And so I started training teachers. Now our main focus, we used to work with many schools
Mm,
across Bangalore, Mumbai, and we've worked in Punjab and Calcutta and a few other places.
mm,
Um, but after COVID, I decided that it's better if we scale all of those back and just focus on training people.
okay.
So now we conduct online training
Yoga,
programs.
yoga programs.
Yeah, yoga for vulnerable communities. So
Mm,
for working with special needs children or prison communities
mhm.
or rural communities, how to bring yoga to those groups.
Okay, okay, wonderful. Wonderful to know that. What type of organizations did you expand? What are they for exactly? I think you developed some organizations. Are they related to these only?
Yeah. So it's Praful Urja.
Mm,
And we started out with special needs children.
mm,
Then we moved into other communities, as I mentioned, the prison communities and rural communities,
mm.
trauma survivors,
Okay.
multiple,
Mm.
yeah.
Okay. Could you please talk about your responsibilities as the steering committee member for the group Women's Thought Leadership? What is it exactly?
Yeah, so the Women's Yoga Council.
Mm,
So
Yeah.
the Women's Yoga Council of India, we are a group of about 20 members right now, 20 to
Mm,
25 members.
mm,
And one of our activities is, I mean, if you notice, again, the yoga world is dominated by male leaders. And that's both in India as well as in the US. Like when we think about yoga, we think
mm,
Patanjali, Iyengar,
mm,
Krishnamacharya, and
mm,
Sadhguru, but we don't really think about women. So I really wanted to bring out what women are doing.
mm,
We have this group, and right now our main focuses are a podcast
mm.
and or speaker series type of activity, and also a newsletter. So
Okay.
want women to express their
Mm,
ideas on what is happening in the yoga
mhm.
industry, in the yoga scene, and,
Okay.
and their thoughts. Like even, for example, we were thinking, now we may have to rethink this, we were thinking we might like to write about yoga and war, considering
Mm,
we're in a very big war right now. Then
okay.
we decided now that may be on,
Mm.
let's see what happens in Pakistan this weekend.
Okay, okay. Yeah. Then you did some peace research in Banaras Hindu University, which
Yeah.
is a famous place in India. Could you please talk about that? What is the
Yeah.
research about peace
So
research?
my research is in the field of diplomacy and the feminine in Indic knowledge systems. So again, it's another area of it's connected to the field of yoga again,
Mm,
because when we think about diplomacy, most people are thinking, okay, presidents and prime ministers and that type of leadership. And
mm,
when we think about yoga, diplomacy from Indic knowledge systems from
mm,
India, we're
mm,
thinking about Krishna, Rama, Hanuman, and some people also think about Chanakya.
mm,
And when I heard this, when I heard our esteemed External Affairs Minister Jay Shankarji speak. As soon as I landed in Banaras a few years ago, it was the first thing I did. My professor said, "You have to come to this program." Okay, I just landed yesterday. I can't. No, you're coming now. Okay, fine. I'm there. And that was when I asked him this question: who are the Indic representatives of diplomacy, or the Indic diplomats? These are the answers that he gave me. And I said, well, if Krishna was, being the feminist, and when I said, well, if Krishna was a diplomat, then certainly Radha was also a diplomat. And if Radha was a diplomat, then there must have been somebody from South India as well. And so my research, and if people from different parts of India. So my research is pan-Indian. So I'm looking at pan um, geographical spaces, pan tradition. So I'm looking at a South Indian Andal, and,
mm,
and her group, she had a group of girls that she worked with. I am also looking at, of course, Radha and her gopis. And I thought, let me choose a Shaiva tribe. I was in Banaras, it's a highly Shaivite location. So I thought, let me look at a
mm,
Shaivite group. And interestingly enough, Shiva's first emissaries to Kashi were
mm,
the 64 yoginis.
mm.
And
Okay.
and so if we think about who is that Kashi is the oldest living city today, then the first diplomats of Kashi were the 64, the Chausat yoginis. And so
What did you observe about these yoginis? What did you notice? What did you learn about it?
so I have looked at now, and then I also have a group in the West, which is a contemporary group from Vinoba Bhave tradition. I don't want to discount them or exclude them. But basically, I've looked at now these four groups of yogini sanghas. And I'm not quite finished. I will be finishing in the next 10 to 15 days. So I don't want to say everything, but what I found is that these women or women's groups conduct diplomacy in a manner that is very different than what we consider diplomacy and what even, for example, the masculine forms in Indic knowledge systems consider. While other people are doing diplomacy to, like, when we think about when we read the theories of diplomacy from Henry Kissinger, from Machiavelli, from anybody, it's always about, even from contemporary Indic thinkers, it's always about what can we get. But Andal and Radha, and to a large extent the Vinoba Bhave group, these three groups are thinking about what is best for the welfare of the world. Let me do this activity, perform this work, build this sangha, perform this work, and build a relationship with a god or with the divine, not for myself, but for the benefit of the world.
Yes.
And that's something that you do not see in anybody else's diplomacy. I would say that even when you look at Krishna, okay, let's do negotiating and let's bargain, but not for the welfare of, okay, maybe to some extent to the welfare of the world, but there's also specific, like, I want this many villages, I want this many houses, or whatever it is, I want this much land, this much money. But here are these women who aren't thinking that I need it for myself.
Okay.
And I think that's something very unique to women.
About them. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for letting us know all these things, Soumya. Could you please talk a little bit about Music for Life? What did you do as a founder and teacher?
Yes. So when I was in California, this was many years ago, more than 20 years back now, some family friends asked me, well, now since you finished university and you're looking before you get started with a job, you have some, or even in the afternoons or evenings, do you have some time to teach my child? Because you teach in a different way. You understand, because you're not asking them to learn music for performance or becoming the greatest musician. You're asking them to learn music to connect to the culture, the religion, the world, and to yourself, to themselves. So again, it was about I had about maybe 25 to 30 children that I was working with at first, just in the afternoons and evenings, and eventually I gave up my job so that I could do that and do that only because because I also taught some adults. I was teaching primarily vocal music. I had a few students who were learning violin, Carnatic violin from me, and some performative, some interesting performances as well, not traditional performances.
Yeah, see, teaching music is one thing, and through music, letting them know what is culture, that is something wonderful, right?
Yes, yes.
Which is
But I didn't
really,
want them they don't necessarily understand the language.
yeah. But through music, they will be able to understand what is the, for example, you teach some Indian classical music, they may learn what it is exactly, the
Yes.
culture of the
Oh,
country.
I always ask them to do
Uh,
research and presentations. So go research this.
mm,
If I had like summer times,
yeah,
especially,
yeah,
they don't have any work to do. So now you will research one raga and you will research one composer. You will go learn what is that person, where have they come from? How did they come upon these ideas? What does their music talk about?
yes.
So that it's not just, okay, I'm singing, I'm great, I have a great, no,
Uh,
you have to connect.
okay. So can you please share your experiences and feelings when you received Yogini Maitreyi Award and Yogini Patanjali Awards?
Oh, yeah. This is yeah, it's really been a blessing that again the Yoga Council has, and I was not the president then, I was just a member. But I had a great support to create the application or fill in the application, and was selected among many other, I don't remember how many, but dozens of other applicants.
Mm,
That really showcases that for me, yoga is more than just an asana practice. It's again a connectivity. It's a connection to
yes.
the tradition, it's a connection to the land, and it's connection to the self.
Mm,
And through that, we can then connect with other people.
mm.
And that's true peace and unity.
Yeah, when you received, it might have been very, nice moment, for you, very sweet memory, I would say.
Definitely.
Can you tell us briefly how is yoga beneficial to the people in a brief manner,
I would say it's a way
way to connect?
to connect with yourself and with the universe around you.
Mm,
And so that's not necessarily an asana
mm,
practice,
yeah,
but the philosophy of yoga really teaches you that you need to, you need to find a way to understand the world around you.
yeah, got it. Yeah, nice. Can you please tell us about the sports award that you received for para sector in 2007?
Yeah, from the Bihar state government. That was a very interesting. So actually, I received it on behalf of our trustee, because one of our trustees is our founding trustee is from Bihar. So
Mm,
we applied for this again, and I think they were also very impressed. And I've been called back since then. They actually gave it to us twice,
mm,
because there's not a lot of people who are bringing yoga to these under-resourced communities, especially to children with special needs. Most people think that yoga, again, people think that it's an asana and you have to stand just like this. And yes, you do have to do that, because that helps your body
mm, to,
be completely integrated. It helps all,
mm,
but if a child who cannot sit on the ground,
mm,
who has autism and cannot understand, oh, how do you bring yoga
yeah.
to them? And this is really what those awards were about.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very nice. Nice to know. Congratulations,
And it was
Soumya.
great to see how the system was, how the award ceremony was done in Bihar, because it's unique.
Uh-huh. Okay. Soumya, you are very good at many languages. I think you can speak 5 to 6 languages.
No,
No,
not fluently, no.
not fluently. Yeah.
I'm fluent in English, of course. Tamil I can,
Okay.
80%, 90%. Um, and I have studied German and
Okay.
a little bit of Hindi, because I lived in Banaras for a couple of years, but
Okay.
not very good. My
Okay.
German was terrible.
Oh, nice, nice. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Could you please give a glimpse of your book, Soumya, My India, which is collection of your poems?
Yes. So should I show it? I
Yeah,
should
you can please show the book. Yeah.
use the book. And I had a wonderful artist, uh,
A nice cover page. Yeah.
yeah, who's based in, and there's some artwork on the inside as well. I think
Mm-hmm.
because there's
Nice.
these are the bookmarks, but the artwork, oh yeah, I can show maybe one art
Okay.
as well. Yeah, here's an art.
Oh, Very nice.
Really reflects,
What is the book about? Did you divide the topics?
yeah, so there are 4 sections.
Uh,
The book is really a journey across India, its people, its places,
mhm.
its philosophies, its practices,
Wow.
its cultures.
Mhm,
So the first section is called Time and Place.
mhm,
And then I have the philosophy of yoga, the practice of yoga, and
mm,
last section is called Ragamala, a
mhm.
Garland of Sound.
Wow. Nice titles, and you divided the book very beautifully. Yeah.
I could,
Okay. Would you like to recite a couple of poems? Maybe
yeah,
for that one.
I will, when we talk about unity, since I talk so much about
Yeah.
unity,
Yeah.
I'll,
Please.
the first piece is called The Rainbow of Our Nations. We are not merely the tiranga of a flag. Rather, we are the beauty that comes from the mixing of the colors, of all the colors, a complete circular rainbow that combines the sun and the water in the air above the earth, the never-ending nor beginning, beautiful myriad that exists in unity together to bring peace and harmony, joy and prosperity. The rainbow of colors,
Mm,
of peoples and places, of pasts and presents, layers upon layers, chakra upon chakra that rise up and lift us, swirling like a whirling dervish within, until we reach the ether and dissolve into each other.
mm, nice. Very well rendered. Very well rendered. Yeah.
Thank you. I can do a piece on Satya, which is from the section on the philosophy of yoga.
Okay. Okay. Please go ahead.
Satya. Truth is not for a court of law, or even for the court of God. Telling the truth builds the trust in any relationship, the most important one with yourself. When you are honest with yourself, you recognize your flaws and accept yourself for who you really are. With the truth, you can strive to be a better version of yourself. Strive to set yourself free from this world of Maya, where you reap what you sow in previous births and present opportunities. This is your chance. Your honesty gives you a sense of peace. You need not create lie upon lie and falsify your whole life. You need not remember the stories you tell, for they resound your experience of truth. Satyameva jayate. Truth alone triumphs.
Wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Wonderful and very sensible poem. And you gave a great message and advice to the readers or listeners, whatever you call it. Yeah. And at the same time, a little bit philosophical also, right? It's
Yes.
very nice, very nice. Most of the people who believe truthfulness is very important. And on the other hand, some people believe maybe truth will not win all the time. That way also, people will have different types of
It's not easy to stick to that.
yeah.
I've written it, I think it, but once in a while we all veer off and think, oh, why should I bother?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, we know the power of truth always. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for beautiful poems, Sowmya.
Sure.
Very enjoyable. Yeah, to listen to you. So you might have observed many women. How do you describe today's women in a sentence or two, according to you?
Today's women.
when you think of the women who lived in the past and now, what changes do you notice?
I think women today should have a lot more courage.
Mm,
I think when I look at when I read about people like Andal, Ayyar,
mm,
uh, Durga from I study or I research on Devi Mahatmyam as well. So Durga, even Radha,
mm,
in certain regards, even the Chausat yoginis, they were firm in their beliefs.
mm,
And I think in today's world, women, we have some certain ideas, but oftentimes we think, okay, well, society won't accept that. So we shy away from our firmness. But if you look at all of these women, they were so firm. This is Andal just said 30 days. No, I don't want anything else. That's what I want. So, and that's all, that's my focus, and that's it. And I think that's something that we can learn from.
we can learn from those Puranic stories or holy books and all. We can learn.
Yes.
Still, women have to develop that courage and
And I think the
boldness.
other thing that I've really learned from my research, but maybe that I've always believed in, is the power of Sangha. And I think
Mm,
women do really well when they are in groups,
mm,
when their group has a focus
mm,
and a determination, and they know how to divide the responsibilities
mm.
and yeah, and be able to support one another.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think this is something that, women now need to resurrect, because
Mm,
especially in India, people always hear about this mother-in-law, daughter-in-law,
mm, mm.
clashes and fights, and even mother-daughter clashes and fights.
Yes, yes.
I think the more cohesive that women can be, especially within a family,
Mm,
the more power they will
yes. I agree with you. I completely agree
impact
with
their
you. Yeah.
family to impact the world.
When women are in a group of people who can support her or him, them, whatever it is, then
Each other, yeah.
that would be nice. Yeah.
They get, yeah.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, a few rapid fire questions. Maybe you can give in a sentence or a word or maybe briefly. What's your favorite holiday destination? Where do you want to go if you have time?
My grandmother's lap,
Wow, great.
but
Yeah,
that's not
yeah.
going to be possible anymore.
Oh, yeah, sorry. But you loved her company. That's something great. What motivates you daily, Soumya?
What motivates me daily? Um,
The moment you get up from the bed.
Maybe my meditation practice.
Okay, nice, nice. Can you describe yourself in 3 words?
Oh boy, these are very difficult questions. From the beginning itself, you've given very
Tough
unique,
questions?
yeah, unique questions, and very, yeah, um,
If possible, that's it.
flexible,
Mm,
mm, thoughtful,
you can, you
and
can.
um, maybe my goal is, maybe it's not what I have now, but my goal is love.
Okay.
But it's not, it
Oh,
will come with time.
okay, wonderful, wonderful to know. So, what is leadership? And can you describe it in one sentence, if possible, according to you? Who is a leader?
Yeah, this is interesting because maybe one of the things I'd like to do once my PhD is over is to start uh, a center for a center for girls leadership, and I want to call it Ayyar's leadership.
Okay.
Academy or Ayyar's Leadership Center, something like that. And I would say leadership is knowing who you are and supporting others to be who they are.
Mm, wonderful. Wonderful answer. How do you tackle failures and how do you celebrate your success?
Oh, this is a terrible thing. Okay, failure happens more often than not. Um, and yeah, I mean, it's tough. It is tough. I'm not going to say no. Sometimes it's very depressing. You keep trying something, it doesn't work out, nothing works out, or what are you supposed to do? And how do you get there? Well, I would say one of the things that I do is I give myself time. I'm not necessarily, I am going to be honest. There is an element of depression,
Definitely.
and that's okay.
Yeah,
Like I
yeah.
said, the path goes like this.
Mm.
There's ups, there's downs, there's lefts, there's rights, ins, outs. So definitely and I'm okay that
When you become a successful, how do you
so
celebrate that success?
this is an interesting thing because I want to say, like, for example, I don't know if any of the work that I'm doing is my own
Mm,
because I may have composed the song, I may have written the book and written the poems, but I'm not sure where these ideas came from.
mm.
I don't think they're my own. I think they
Okay.
belong to the divine, the goddess. Um, and when I think about it, I really think that my greatest accomplishment was birth, and everything else is just icing on the cake. I don't think that there's something that I have to achieve in my life. I just want to keep doing what I can to give gratitude and appreciation for the goddess. I don't think that I don't know what is I don't know what I do when I succeed. I do feel, and what is that? Well, I like to share it with others. Like,
Okay.
for example, when I published my book last year,
Mm.
I shared with all my family and friends as
Yeah.
much as possible.
Yeah.
And
Sharing is caring. When you share the news with others, that is the happiest moment. What else?
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Wonderful, wonderful, Sowmya. And it was really wonderful conversing with you. And thank you so much for sharing your experiences and your knowledge, everything with us. I really enjoyed talking to you. Thank you so much for,
Padma, thank you so much for the
yeah.
I don't know what the right word is, but the very intriguing questions,
Mm.
because it got me to rethink and really think like, okay, yeah, what do I define as leadership? Now I know that when I'm writing an application, I can this is what I can discuss.
You could recall even the past moments, past experiences also when you spoke. Yeah, I know, I noticed it. Hope you enjoyed the conversation.
Very much, very much.
Yeah,
And I think it's live streaming
yeah,
onto YouTube.
yes, yes, yeah,
So I'll go and watch. I'll go and watch it and
definitely. Yeah,
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 share it
yeah.
with
We
others.
will be sending you the YouTube link soon, Soumya. Thank
Thank,
you very much for
thank you very
being
much.
my honorable guest today. Thanks a lot.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Padma, and thank you, Prasanna.
yeah, thank you. Yeah, with this, we are going to end the program. Thank you, Soumya.
Thank you.